What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So, while we have had some time to really focus on Terra Luna Classic, the community, where we're kind of going, the people that are in charge, the decision makers, all these different things we've had time to talk about, discuss, um, I think there's one proposal, right? And I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, I'm tooting my own horn here by saying, hey, I created this proposal. But I think there's one proposal that really means a lot to the Terra Luna Classic community, even though we see a lot of other proposals get a ton more traction or a ton more, interest to it, and get mentioned on YouTube maybe a lot more, and just have more discussions overall, because I don't think anybody's divided around this proposal. And I wanted to talk about this and, explain exactly what it is and why it's so important to Terra Luna Classic as a whole, and why people pretty much agree of where this should be. It's just a matter of how it gets done. So guys, if you could, make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Patreon. Both of those links are down in the description, or you can just search on Twitter at Perry8K and you'll find me. Be careful of people that are impersonating me. They're always trying to add an extra R or an extra 8 or an extra K or extra things in there that people wouldn't notice. So make sure you're following the right one. You definitely have a check mark there, but in today's Twitter world or X world, that really doesn't mean too much. So just be careful of who you're contacting, who you're talking to. And just to let you know, my DMs are open now. So if you want to just DM me, you can DM me. But I might not get back to you. I'll try to, but I might not. And if you're a project and you want a review, feel free to reach out to me, and we can always do a review. Remember, reviews are different than promotions. We are unbiased in these reviews, and we will show all positives and negatives. Anyways, let's talk about Terra Luna Classic, show you where it is, and then I'm going to talk about what proposal is probably or the most important proposal for Terra Luna Classic. So currently, the position is actually down again, and we're seeing it lower and lower. It's down to 4059, down 1%, with $344 million market cap. And the volume, we're seeing about $11.4 million worth of volume. And the one thing I would like to point out that kind of ties into this video is the DEX volume. While we see $11.2 million worth of volume, 29,000 is going towards DEX volume. So that's insanely low. You don't necessarily see a lot because there's no reason to really make that move over there. Most people are buying and just transferring, sending over to Terra Station, and then staking it if they need to stake it. But anyways, that's where Terra Luna Classic is. You can see that it did, see if we look at all-time high, we did see this, at a level of $120 before the collapse. It did collapse, and now you see it at a level to where, which is over a year that it's been kind of at these lows, honestly. And we did see it up at 0.000 zeros and a 5 or a 6. And now we're seeing it at that level of 4 zeros, which doesn't really feel good for a lot of people. Some people it does because it creates a buying opportunity, but most people it's not something that you're really, really happy about. Now, on to what this video is all about. The video is about Terra Luna Classic and the most important Luna proposal to pass. So it is already passed. You don't have to worry about voting on it. And I feel as though, I have to kind of preface this. I feel as though it is very, very important because it's something that everybody agrees on. Typically, you have a lot of people that will say, no, that won't work. This will work. And then people will say, no, that won't work, that this will work. And it's just so much indecisiveness, so much, just clutter and, disagreement. It's kind of insane. But there's a couple of things that people do agree on. One thing, that we need to recover Terra Luna Classic. And two, we need a way to create more volume on chain. Right. And on chain is where the burns actually are. And I don't think the burns are pushing people away. I just think it's the lack of a reason to be on chain. And yes, utility would matter if you had some sort of major utility to it that gives Terra Luna Classic a large use case. But honestly, we don't have that. And even if we do, we still might not see the transactions that happen directly on chain, right? We're not going to see purchases that happen directly on chain. We're going to see swaps that happen in Binance and send over to whatever the place is that you need to, use it, and then you'll use it there. But I think the most important proposal is this: the ability to add a buy button for Terra Luna Classic and USTC on Terra Station, on the Station wallet. Now, I was the one that put this through. It ended up passing when we had less the coins that were in that were staked, because now we're over 1 trillion. So if it was today, obviously it would take a lot more in order for it to pass. I don't know why they do that. They should have just kept everything the same to show all the history and how much was there and how much it met quorum. But majority of people agreed on this, right? There was no no's, right? You had 0% no with veto. Like, people agree on this. And the reason why a lot of people are abstain on this, play or on this proposal was because they didn't know how it was going to be done, right? It's very difficult to do something like that because you would have to either involve a third party, or you would have to have a ton of liquidity behind the scenes in order to add that to Terra Station. Well, the liquidity option was kind of just not going to happen, right? You would have to have billions upon billions of coins, maybe even trillions of coins over here, because that's where all the volume would be, all of the transactions would be, just to be able to stake and do a lot of other things, whatever you wanted to do, and swapping back and forth and all that stuff. But we didn't have that ability to gather all that liquidity. You need money in order to gather all that liquidity, because all of the coins are out there, and that makes it difficult. Now, what you could do is a level of using the liquidity from Binance and exchanges while you're trading on the Station wallet, which, from what I hear, Coinin was really working hard on doing that. And then they hit a couple of speed bumps, maybe walls, and we just really didn't explore that too much further. Then we had, I believe, Lunic Burn Army that was looking into this and getting another third-party service, or a third-party service, kind of like what you see with MetaMask and them using MoonPay. It was kind of going to be like that, to where you can have transactions that happen, or you can have a buy directly on there. But I think the reason why it's the most important, again, is the fact that majority of people agree on this. I mean, all people agree on this. They just want to know how it's going to be done, right? 63% basically said to me, look, I agree that this is a great proposal and we need to have this happen, but I don't know how it's going to be done. So until we know how it's going to be done, we might as well not get it passed or whatever. Or I might as well show exactly where I stand with it. It's not that it's not going to pass, because we have 36% that say yes, and then 63 that say abstain. But just like they said, it's very difficult to get this implemented. I don't really have the power to do so. I have the power to reach out to some people, and I have, and gotten some responses back and saying, well, we got to check on some things and all that stuff. And we can see if we can add Lunic to our third-party service. So we're still trying to go through this process. I had more contact today to be able to go through this process, but I feel like this will create a ton of volume for Station, for Terra Luna Classic on chain, which creates burns. And I think this is something that everyone would agree on, and they have agreed on it. So even though you may say that other things are more important, the repeg proposals, spending proposals, putting people in charge, like all of these things are more important. Obviously, they're not like at that level to where they can get 100% of the community going, this needs to happen. I don't know how it's going to happen, but this needs to happen, right? There are people that are on, let's say, getting the burns, and there's 40% of people that like burns and 60% that say no, right? There's 50% that may say, hey, we need to have this person in charge, and there's 50% that say we need to have this person in charge, and this person needs to be a decision maker, and all of that. So having basically 100% say we need to have this happen, I don't care how it gets done, that's why it's the most important, right? So let me know what you think. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of people in the comment section that's like, no, I don't think it's that important. But having any type of way to purchase it directly on chain means a lot to the chain itself, right? It's not pushing that to CEXs, which, you know, all of that happens off chain. It's giving the power, or at least a little bit of power, back to the chain itself. So anyways, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more videos like this one. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below. I'm going to get out of here, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.